Hey, author bosses. This is Carol Vaughn, the writing coach from the Author Boss Academy, and I'm here to talk to you about freshening up your brand by having an author creed. Now, before we do that, I want to make sure that we have some of the same definitions. As the writing coach, words, they're important, and I want to make sure that we have the same understanding so that when I'm talking, you're thinking about the same things I'm thinking about. So first, author brand, okay? Just to make sure that it's clear, there's an author brand and an author logo. All right, a logo is the image that you use to kind of represent you. So if you think of, let's say McDonald's, the golden arches would be the logo. Target, they have the red circle that's a Target, for their store. Amazon has the smile that they put on all of their delivery boxes. So that's your logo. Now, an author brand is a bit harder to get your hands on because what your brand is what people think about you. Now, when I was first learning about that, I was frustrated because I'm like, well, I can't control what people think about me. Actually, we can to an extent, right? We can't control their thoughts, but we can influence what they think about our brand. And that is kind of what I'm going to talk about. Now, moving on from that definition of what an author brand is, I have a story to tell you that is going to play into writing your author creed. When I was about 11, I was part of a group of girls in our church, and the goal was kind of to help us reach the self-actualization part of Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs by exploring our talents and learning new things. Now, one activity in particular stood out to me. We had these little rectangular wooden blocks, and it was our job to decorate them. And they just had the saying on them, count your blessings. So I am not artsy, guys. I really, really wish I was. I wish I could express myself creatively that way, but it doesn't seem to be something I can do well. So this one, I went through and I painted the thing. It was white, and then we had the toothbrushes with the little spackling. And I actually did a good job of matching colors, which is unusual for me, just so you know. And then I looked around the table at the other girls who also had fantastic projects. They usually did. And in my head, I realized nobody had used the color orange. And I kind of started to panic, like, what if orange feels left out? Nobody used orange. Orange is such a great color. And so before I knew it, I was spackling orange onto my art project that I think was like blue and pink. Okay, the orange did not go with it at all. But I felt this urge, like it had to be there. So it now had orange. And later I regretted it because I was like, oh man, this would have looked so cute if I would have just left the orange alone. But I didn't. Okay, now you might be wondering, what does this story have to do with writing an author creed? All right, I have a journal here in which I kind of keep track of my creative ideas, whether it's an art project, because even though I can't draw, I like to color sometimes. If it's I want to make a blanket, if it's writing related, whatever it is. And back when I first started my author journey in May 2012, I was reading Everything I Need to Know I Learned in Kindergarten, and he talked about having a creativity creed. So I wrote my creativity creed, and here it is. You can see it almost takes up the whole page. And if you read it a little bit closer, you'll find out that it covers everything from writing to service to being in nature to doing stuff with my kids to practicing music. I mean, it is all over the place. This was my color orange creativity creed, you guys. When you are writing your author creed, you want to focus on being an author. Don't try to be everything because it's just too much. And if you try to be everything to all of your readers, you'll find that you're nothing because they don't have anything to really think about you. You want them to think about specific things. So fast forward a little bit to actually this month, I decided that I needed to revisit my author creed. And honestly, this is something you should do every year, is look at your author creed. And okay, so this top part right there, that is actually an outline. This was my first draft and it didn't feel quite right. My final draft is just this little section right down here of my author creed. And when I finished, it really clarified that when people think about me, I want them to think about hope and inspiration. And this has influenced my author brand significantly, not just in the way that I write my stories and then know how to end them, but also in the things that I post on social media. Before, I was like, but I don't have any updates on my story. What do I post? Funny story. I'm going to school. Like, it was all over the place. And now every day it has been easy to post every day because I'm like, I want to be an inspiring author. So any post I put in there, I can do inspirational quotes. And it's so easy. When people think of me, I want them to think of inspirational quotes that make them feel good and make them happier. Now, if you're writing mystery, maybe you're going to want to focus on, unsolved murder cases, or, you can just post little things like that. Police procedurals. Hey guys, did you know that you do this? If you're writing romance stories, you could do the top 10 romance lists of all time, but only reveal one every day, up to 10 days. Knowing your author creed and what you want people to think about you will help you to craft your stories so that they all kind of fit together. It will help you to craft your posts, your blog posts, your Facebook or Instagram posts, wherever you're doing social media, your newsletters. It's gonna just solidify where you're going. I also found that it helped with writer's block. What was it, 2 years ago? I hit writer's block. Bad, like 6 months of, I would look at my computer and then I'd be like, nope, can't write. And it was like almost a panic, right? It was more of writer's anxiety, but it was blocking me, so I couldn't do it. And my realization in that time was that I had lost track of what my purpose as an author was. I was focused on the fact that one book was selling well, and it was freaking me out because the higher you go, the farther you have to fall. And until I realized that, guys, I didn't start writing for money. I started writing because I wanted to read stories like mine. Until I came back to that realization, and it took 6 months, I couldn't write a word. So every year, you guys, you should write your author's creed. And I would encourage you to start with this sentence: I am an author. Even if you have never published before, acknowledging the fact that you are writing is a powerful thing. It gives you courage to say, I am an author. When people say, well, what do you do for fun? You don't go like, oh, well, I wrote these little things, but they're not really any good, or what do you do for a job? Well, I kind of do stuff and have weird thoughts, Currently, I'm researching 9 ways to kill a person without leaving any evidence, or what's the best type of kiss to have because I have this writing or kissing scene and I don't do them well, whatever it is. You can just say, I am an author. Start it that way, you guys. Start it. And then continue with, well, what do you want people to think about you as an author? And here's mine in case it helps you out. Mine just says, I'm an author. My journey will lead me to new places and people. I will fearlessly explore human emotions. I will look for and share hope. My characters will become my companions for this journey. Because I write, my world will be enriched, intriguing, and enjoyable. And that's it. By really focusing in, it will help you to craft better stories. It will help you to form an author brand so that when people get done reading your book and someone asks, well, what do you think about this book? I love this author. Their stories are always so exciting, or steamy romance, or I always feel so good when I put the book down, or this author really makes me think. Those are all qualities of author brand that you want them to be able to share with their friends when they get done reading your book. So your homework, you guys, is to write your author creed. Like I said, this time around, it really helped me to kind of do an outline first. I'm an author. Okay, well, what's important to me about being an author? What do I want people to think about when they get done with my stories? And then I formed it into a sentence. And for me, my author creed, it focuses on me because, like I said, I write because I want to read the kind of stories that I write. I am my target audience. And I know that there are other people out there like me, so that's okay. For you, it'll be different. Yours may be more, I'm an author. As I write, people will come to expect thrilling adventures, or I will have romance scenes that let my readers escape for a minute from the harsh realities of life. or I will write about real world issues and I will leave my readers in tears. You know, it can be whatever you want them to think about. So yeah, that is how my orange story relates to this. Don't try to be everything. Don't worry about, oh no, you know, orange got left out. What if they feel bad? Because not everybody wants to read a romance story. Not everybody wants to read fantasy. They're your orange people. That's okay. There are other people who are going to take care of them. You focus on the people that you want to focus on and be who you want to be. Sorry, I'm thinking that there's a commercial like that. I think it's an Army commercial, be all you can be. So, oh, I was also going to add, sorry guys, I forgot about this, that I loved how Stacy tied in her tech with your author brand, because that is something you want them to think about from the tech side. You want them to think this is a reliable author and their website works. Just thinking about yesterday, how Facebook kind of had a little bit of a crash and people were freaking out for 8 hours because normally Facebook has been very reliable. And you want people to freak out a little bit if your stuff's not working because it's unusual and they want to reach you. You want them, when they read your books, to have a sense of comfort so that, you know what, if you do decide one year that, hey, I want to change up my author brand, I want to try something new, they freak out a little bit because people freaking out is them buzzing about it. And then people get curious and they want to know more about your story. It's okay to have people freak out a little bit, especially if you've created consistency. You guys, happy authoring. Get your homework done. If you feel brave enough to share your author creed, please feel free to share it in the comments. Take a screenshot of it. Heck, you could probably even do a little live post. I don't know if you can do a live post in the group, but I'll bet you could. And share what your author creed is and maybe why you chose what you did. And if you have questions, you guys, contact us. We'd love to help. We're doing all we can to help you guys succeed in your author journey. And I hope you guys have a great weekend.